Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome back to the session. So we're gonna wait another 2 minutes to everyone join because there is only one participant in the meet. So we're gonna wait another 2 minutes and start the session in 2 minutes. Okay, yeah. Guys, we're gonna wait another 2 minutes to everyone join and let's start off the session in 2 minutes, okay? So there are only two participants in the meet, so we're gonna wait another 2 minutes. I think we can start off the session. Mhm. Okay, so today's topic is generally connected futures, future empowering in the world with an IoT cloud platforms. So let's understand how this IoT devices will be communicating with cloud. Okay, so we have so many possibilities like I've already discussed in the last few classes. You can use a Google Cloud, which is a Firebase. You can use Microsoft Code Cloud, and also you can use AWS Cloud from Amazon. Microsoft Cloud is you have Azure for Microsoft Cloud, and also you have from IBM, which is an IBM version. So these are the different clouds. So as we are using Firebase because it is free for all the students. Okay, so there's so many possibilities to connect with the cloud in different ways, like exploring how cloud platforms are revoluting the way that we connect, monitor, and also control the physical world through the intelligent data. Okay, so now let's dive into like uh, let's understand how many devices are connected to the world, like how many IT devices are connected to the world. Okay, the drawn of the connected world, which is a 14B. So they're saying that IoT devices today connected the worldwide into 14B. So and also the projects that we are expecting from by 2030 is 25B. Okay, so IoT technology basically enable everywhere, guys, like in the smart homes, like in intelligent machinery, and also in industries, and then every day, every hour we will be communicating with IoT only. So in industries and also in the smart homes and all. So this is basically convenience of the everyday products that giving the informations to the users through connected devices like Wi-Fi, and it can collect the data and also automate the process. Okay. Now, Now let's understand what is an IoT cloud platform. So IoT cloud platform is basically it is a powerful middleware layer that can connected user applications with the remote devices. Like basically we are enable the communication between two the devices to exchange the data. Okay, and it can be having a control access like a digital platforms and also physical world where we are working on a real time hardware. Okay, so as in this class, it is completely on the virtual side. We are going to see how IoT cloud will perform on the different layers. Okay, so let's take a device management. So in the device management, onboarding, monitoring, and also updating millions of devices, which means by connecting your internet, which is Wi-Fi or any other devices on the product that we're using in every day. So from that you will be collecting the different types of a data from the different type of devices. Okay, so that you will be able to check everything, monitoring, and you can also provide the dashboard to monitoring all of this. Okay, so one in electronics we called as a PLCs, where PLCs will be connected to one system, that is a SCADA system, where it is a software again, so we can monitor by using that software. Okay, and a data collection and also analytics, so gather and process the massive streams of the real-time data, which means from each and every sensors we will be collecting the massive amount of data, right? So that massive amount of data we have to process in the different streams, because each every sensors will be having a different behavior. Okay, so that is a real time data. And also coming to security, so protecting devices data. So security is very top layer in any application or any stream that you take. If there is a high security in your product, then only users will be trusting your product. If not, obviously user won't trust your project, right? So for example, you have a WhatsApp. We will be trusting WhatsApp in such a way that we don't mind to have a chit chat with your friends, colleagues, and then anyone, right? Because we trust the application. And if you take a Facebook, While you are registering for it, while you are before using, you have to register for it, right? You will be giving all your personal informations. That is also when you believe one application, then only you can use the application, right? So to believe, hence we have to give a security assurance to the applications and also in the cloud platform. Okay. While I'm talking about integrations with different enterprises systems is a very benefit because if you take a Python as an example, as an intermediate or a middleware to IoT projects, so Python will be help us like a middleware, and also Python will be help us to back-end integration process. So integrations can be anything, like it can be SARMs and ERPs and also enterprises. So you can integrate with some different middleware. Okay, so which is a powerful again. And scalability is okay. Upon all of this, scalability is of your product has also very important part, because systems growth will start from understanding the scalability only. So basically, scalability is supporting growth from hundreds or to the millions of the devices. We'll be scaling what is working for us, what is not, and all of this stuff. Okay. User interface where it can be a dashboard to monitor and also to control all of the machinery at one time. So I already said you right, in industries we have something like PLCs. All PLCs will be monitored by one software called as SCADA. Okay, if you have a time, please go through it also. Okay, so please take a note of this. This is very important when we are talking about IoT cloud platform. Okay, please take a note of it. I'll be waiting another 2 minutes. Please take a note of it. I hope it is done. Yes or no in the chat, guys. Yeah. Now, the gains of IoT cloud. So these are the different clouds that we can use for IoT projects. Okay. First one is AWS. Okay. And then AWS from Amazon and Azure from Microsoft, Google Cloud, that is Firebase. Okay. So these are basically hyperscalers and also domains that IoT public cloud market is basically using. And these clouds can take the data, collects the data, holds it approximately 80% of the share market. Okay. So each basically brings the unique strengths to the IoT ecosystems. Let's talk about different clouds at one time. Okay. Let's talk about AWS IoT. Okay. So the first mover advantage with the AWS IoT is, you can use the services of AWS, like you have to pay for the service and use it, okay? As long as you can use the service and pay for it, pay for the service and use for it. It is vice versa, okay? So this is started in 2015 in and around. So basically, extension portfolio included in AWS IoT core, and it is not actually free. Okay, you have to pay for it to use the AWS. Okay, and green gases and also device management for the comprehensive solutions. And let's talk about Microsoft Azure. So Microsoft Azure is nothing but it is overtook AWS with an IoT centric strategy, and also enterprises that mainly focus on the integrations with the Microsoft ecosystems. And also it basically depends on the hub, which is comes to from Azure, which is a Azure IoT hub, and all the edge computation capabilities can be performed using this cloud. Okay, now let's talk about Google Cloud. So very much important this Google Cloud, because Google Cloud is giving 15 GB free for students, so you can easily develop so many projects using that GB. And it is basically depends on the storage in the data analytics and also machine learning integration. So whatever comes first, so it will prioritize everything, like and what is the least priority also, it will be telling you in the dashboard itself. Okay, so for that you'll understand, okay, what is going top, what services are going top, what is going down, and which device is having the plenty of the data and all. So everything will be having an understanding. And then when your Excel is having so much of data, then also you can use a Firebase, and you can export your CVSV file also in the cloud. Okay, so in a real time you can also process the data. And yeah, so key player shaping the IoT landscape, it is nothing but, so beyond than this, IoT clouds can also does all of these operations. So these are the specified platforms offer target solutions for the specific IoT challenges and also industries. Okay, when you're talking about AWS IoT cloud, overall best cloud platform for IoT with the comprehensive services and also robust security and extensive device management and capability. So what they're talking about in the AWS platform is, they're telling that it is a blessed cloud platform for IoT and also comprehensive services. Okay, so IoT with the comprehensive services, which is having included of a security and also extensive device management capabilities. Okay, you can use this cloud for security reasons, because AWS is more secured. Okay, and you also have a Microsoft Cloud, which is you know Azure. So it is also one of the alternate secure cloud edge solution platform, where you can use this ecosystem for integration, and also you can enlarge to a enterprise global trade. Okay, and another cloud called IBM Vastan from IoT. This is basically from IBM company. So this cloud is deals for AI and analytics integrations very often than an IoT, but you can also proceed IoT, IoT cloud performance here. But again, you have to pay for it. Okay. So yeah, so you can leverage the vast and cognitive computation. Again, cognitive mode is actually security purposes. So, and capabilities for the intelligence of an IoT applications. And Oracle is also having IoT, but more or less companies will use either AWS or Azure. So less of the companies are using Oracle, but Oracle company itself are using Oracle for their machinery. So it is also provide the real-time analytic tools. So specially designed for the enterprises and also IoT development. So this is basically depends on the business intelligence and also integrations. Okay. So Cisco is one of the company. So you guys know about it. We have so many products of Cisco like watch, bags, and all of stuff. So they are also focusing on security for IoT and deployed with the network centric architecture and also enterprise grade position. So comparatively, all of this, Cisco is having a more secured for IoT deployment because everything is a centralized architecture and it is basically used for the grade protection protocols. Okay, so these are the different kind of IoT clouds, and each and every cloud will be specifically used for some other reasons. So these are used for it. Please note down these points also. When you're working with a project or any other stuff in IoT, you have to understand which cloud need to be selected to in your project. It is not always Firebase, it is not always AWS. It is a vice versa. So upon the problem statement that you're working on, so it depends upon the cloud that we have to select. Okay. Please note down this. Yeah. So I hope you have written all of the points. And beyond the games, you have specialized IoT platforms like Car IoT platform, ThinSpeak, Practicals, and Lawson. These are the platforms where you can directly use as a cloud, okay? Virtual clouds. ThinSpeak is also very good IoT cloud. So you can integrate MATLAB for built-in analytics and also visualizations tools. And Kia IoT platform. So this is also very excellent collecting for managing IoT data with the flexibility and also with a different architecture. And you have practical, so which is also a strong tracking system and also connectivity solutions for hardware. And you also have Locent. So it basically one kind of an enterprise platform for IoT where you can work on the low code and also no code operations. Okay. And operation integrations is also available here. So ThinSpeak is quietly easy basically. To connect your project to ThinSpeak, it is quietly easy. Okay. So in this session, we can check on the ThinSpeak, like how we can connect to ThinSpeak. For example, I have Walkwe. Okay. Okay. So let's take ESP32 board and then click on Start Templates. So, and select ESP32. Okay. Now we'll be working on one project which we can connect to the cloud, which is the project name is IoT project, temperature monitoring using ESP32 and also plus ThinSpeak. Okay. So this project basically reads the temperature data sent to ThinSpeak cloud and you can view live graph in the ThinSpeak. Okay. So we can do it here. So we can access ThinSpeak free. So, okay, this is the Walkwe board. Okay, so this is the Walkwe board. We are going to connect the temperature. So which is temperature DHT22 and we'll be connecting to Wi-Fi. So take this, take temperature. Okay. Take the DHT22 and drag and drop here anywhere. VCC can be connected to 3.3 volts. Ground is connected to ground, and data pin you can connect to any digital pin. So VCC 3.3 volts. Let's check where is 3.3. Three point three. Okay. And you can, this is VCC and this is ground. Ground is connected to direct ground. This is ground. Okay. And one more pin called data pin. So you can connect your data pin, which is DA, to GPIO 15. Okay, I've connected the temperature sensor. Now let's write the walkway code. Okay. First, we have to include the Wi-Fi because the cloud itself run with Wi-Fi. So include include Wi-Fi.h, and then we're going to include a protocol which is HTTP. So include HTTP client. We are going to include the HTTP client.h, and we're going to include a DHT temperature sensor. So include DHTESP.h. Okay. Now we have to give SSID and password that we have connected to walkway Wi-Fi. So let's take constant char as a variable name. And SSID that is equals to walkway. Walkway guest. And use a semicolon by the end of the statement. Okay. Now you can use constant char and write password. Okay. As I am not writing any password, you can use semicolon. Once it is done, you can write your write API key. So you can create a string. API key that is equals to, you can write your API key. Now let's open ThinSpeak here. ThinSpeak. This is a ThinSpeak. Okay, first you can click on sign up for free, and let's understand what is this used for. Okay, to use ThinSpeak, you must sign in with your existing MathWorks account or create a new one. Okay. However, we are creating a new one. Non-commercial users may use ThinSpeak for free. Okay, because we are the non-commercial users, right? So we can use ThinSpeak as free. Free account offer limited on certain functionality, which means we don't have much more accesses because we're using a free account. Commercial users are eligible for a time limited free evaluations to get full access on a MATLAB analysis in future on the ThinSpeak. Log into ThinSpeak, user email address associate with the university and on also organization. Okay. To send the data fast to the ThinSpeak or to send more data from the devices, consider paid license option for commercial, academic, and also home and student users. You have a sign in button. Before signing, you have a flow. Okay, so like how ThinSpeak works. Okay, so let's understand this is a MATLAB that you are using or any other software like Walk VRN. So this is basically where the algorithm developing and also we're gonna add the sensors and write the code. Okay, so then that will be goes to the ThinSpeak cloud. So data aggregation and also analytics will happen here. Finally, you will be directly goes to the smart contract devices, which a router is connected to different devices. From that, you will be taking an internet and storing all the informations from the cloud. This is the process. Okay. Now I'm clicking on sign in. I'm using an email ID and also password. Yeah. Okay. So this is how a ThinSpeak platform will look like. You can create a new channel by clicking on new channel. Okay. So you can give a channel name like as I'm working on a temperature, so I'm using a temperature monitor. Temperature monitor. Okay. So here you can give enable field one. Okay. So if you wanted to enable this, then you can create a new field and then use it. Okay. So as of now, field one is okay. And then you can click on save. Directly you can click on save channel. Okay. From here you can channel ID like write API key will be displayed. Okay. From the API keys you have a write API key and also read API key, right? So this is your API key. Okay. So because we have to use a write API key in a project, so I'm using a write API key here. Okay. So Control C and come back to the code, and I'm using a write API key here. Just a minute. In the walkthrough here, in place of API, we have to use a write API key. So that's how our ThinSpeak and also our cloud of ThinSpeak will connect to our walkthrough project. I hope you all understood how it is going to connect. Yes or no in the chat, please. And also use semicolon. Okay. Once you have connected to String API key, and then you can give the ThinSpeak update also, like the server data. So, like say in the ThinSpeak, Once you go here, now you can find api.thinspec update, right? You can copy till that and then use it. The right API, you also can copy this. Okay, so I'm copying till update, copying and coming to the code. And now what I'm writing is because I'm adding a server here, so I'm using constant char server, because this is a server, right? That is equals to, in double quotations, you can use that link till update. Okay, so it will be directly link whatever the ThinSpeak update that you have selected. Now you can use a semicolon. Okay, I hope you have a clarity. Just a minute. Okay, so till the server that you have created. All right. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this temperature which is DHT sensor. Okay, so we're creating a variable of DHT because we have using DHT ESP here, right? So now I'm accessing DHT ESP. So I'm writing, okay, now DHT sensor, DHT sensor, and then semicolon. Okay, now we're gonna use a void setup. So using void setup, this is a method to set up few things. So here you can ask serial.begin. Okay, so serial.begin. Inside you can write the value. The value is like in anything, like you can use a birth rate of 9600115200 likely. So in this class we are going to use 115200 115200. Okay, and use a semicolon. Now we will be starting the Wi-Fi with SSID and password. So I'm using Wi-Fi dot begin. So from Wi-Fi dot begin from SSID and also password. And then semicolon. Okay. So once we have started the Wi-Fi, by taking the SSID and password. Now what I'm doing is I'm using a while statement. If we are connected, Wi-Fi status, if it is not connected, then print a dot dot dot. If it is connected, then print Wi-Fi is connected. So I'm using a while loop to represent this. So while Wi-Fi dot status, while Wi-Fi dot status, if at all it is not connected, which is not equals. Okay. Once it is not connected, so wireless connected. Okay. And you use curly braces and you can write delay of 500 and then use semicolon. Once it is done, you can directly print serial.println Wi-Fi is not connected at dot dot dot. Okay. So serial.println, you can write connecting to Wi-Fi. Okay, you can write connecting to Wi-Fi and dot 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 something like. Okay, and can also use semicolon and then close this. And now what you're gonna do is, if it is not here, we again has to print the serial dot begin. Serial dot now inside you can print Wi-Fi connected. Or you can directly write serial.println. It will be printed on the next line. Okay, now you can write Wi-Fi connected. Okay, so Wi-Fi is connected and also semicolon. Once Wi-Fi is also connected, we have to write with what are the pin that we have connected to DHT. Okay, DHT sensor. DHT dot sensor dot setup. Okay, so we have to set up the pin. 15 I have connected, so I'm writing 50 and DHT-ESP and DHT22. So DHT-ESP is nothing but the board name and also board and followed by DHT sensor, and the number of the sensor is 22, DHT22. So altogether we will be writing DHT-ESP. Okay, so which is DHT11. So 22 and semicolon. Okay. Now this is all set up. Now let's start void loop. So void loop, and from the temperature and humidity. So I'm writing temp and now we can take a temperature values is always a a floating value, so that's why I'm using a float data type. So float temperature, that is equals to data dot temperature, because we are collecting the data, right? Okay, so use semicolon. Now we have to print serial print temperature, serial println temperatures in a string and also followed by actual value. So serial dot print serial dot print. Now we have to print the temperature, right? So serial dot print temperature and semicolon. Now you can use serial dot print directly. You can print the temperature. Okay, and then use semicolon. If what I'm trying to write the logic over here is if the Wi-Fi status is equals to connected, then it can directly go to HTTP client. Okay, so now I'm writing so if Wi-Fi status equals to wireless which is not connected. Okay, let's write it for connected. If it is connected, then we have to ask for HTTP client. Okay, and HTTP semicolon. So a string URL that is equals to server, and URL that is plus or equals to, we already have given the URL, right? So that is plus or equals to the key that we have getted. Okay, so you can go here and you can take after this. Okay, like from here question mark to key. You can copy this and come back to the code and paste that. Okay, so that is equals, and this is also concatenation with API key. URL that is plus and which is equals to, so we can use an ampersand field. Okay, so field you can also copy from here. Okay, so this field 1, copy and come back here and you can paste. Okay, now we're going to use a string operator with get on the temperature. So string temp, string temperature and close. And now you can start with HTTP begin. So inside you can write URL and int HTTP code that is equals to HTTP dot get method. And now we are going to use a logic if HTTP cloud greater than 0. Okay, so we can directly print serial.println data sent successfully. Okay. Data sent successfully. Data sent successfully. And use semicolon. Dot end. And now you can get on a delay 1000. Okay. So this is the program execution part. Let's see on the next class. Okay. So this is the complete program to connect with the Tinker card. Sorry, we are using walkv, right? So walkv to thinspic. Okay. So in the next class, we're gonna see how to run this and how basically the graph visualizations will be appear here. Everything we'll be seeing in the next class, right? So thank you so much for everyone joining us today. We can catch up on the next class. Thank you.